Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. Today, I'm your host, Alan, and we are so delighted that you've chosen to join us here today on this fabulous March morning. So, uh, we love connecting with people just like you through Facebook and on YouTube and all of our social media. So, do yourself a favor and go to our website, cslcharlotte.org, and there you can put in a prayer request and subscribe. We are always adding something new every week. So who are we here at CSL Charlotte? We are a New Thought community that we are a New Thought community, and we are part of the Science of Mind. The Science of Mind was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He combined all of the wisdom from different spiritual traditions and paths and created a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into this world. So what are we doing here at CSL Charlotte? Well, for one thing, we are a diverse community and we are open and affirming. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, gay, straight, or any kind of physical distinction. You are welcome here. In fact, you can be yourself. You don't have to leave your philosophy or nature of knowledge. And here at CSL Charlotte, we refer to many different scriptures, such as the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Dhammapada, just to name a few examples. So why are we here? Our vision is to create future leaders, and leaders just like you and me, who fully embody these teachings and live these teachings, so we can be a beacon of light to transform this world through mind, body, and spirit. So before I pass the mic over to Reverend Rosedale Jones, I would like to read you a quote that goes along with today's theme, which is about being aware of the inner observer. Understand that thoughts are thoughts. If they are unreasonable, reason with them. Even if you have no reason left, you are the observer of your mind, not its victim. And this is a quote by Matt Haig. And with that, I'll pass the mic over to our fabulous Reverend Rosedale Jones.
Wow. Alan, you got to put that in the chat. That's powerful. I got to keep those little quotes going on. They really, really work. So, good morning, everybody. And thank you again, Alan, our fabulous MC, my right hand man. Guys and girls, wherever you are, you have just reached the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte, the Mind, Body, Spirit Center. So, welcome. And if you're on YouTube, you're getting it today. So today is your message, no matter where you are. So with that being said, let me tell you what we're doing this month. This month, we're honoring Women's History Month. We're celebrating the divine feminine. You know, that spirit that shaped history, that spirit that nurtures, that spirit that's all about the wisdom of women. You've heard women's intuition. Well, the thing about me, I love this month because I am a proud woman and I like celebrating me. So for generations after generations, you know, women have engaged in this eternal conversation that I'm about to talk about today. It is where we meet the observer. You guys wait for this. See, the eternal conversation is a very deep inner dialogue between us and us. But we're thinking that some observer is observing us and we're observing it. I'll tell you about that later. But remember, this is Women's Month, so they're going to play a big piece to this today. So at CSL Charlotte, we recognize that this same universal spirit or this same power lives in us today, that lives throughout all the history and all life. So with that being said, guys, get ready and put your shoes on because we're going to go somewhere today. The first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to open up our celebration service. Come on, CCC, SSS, celebration service today. We're going to open it up today with an affirmative prayer. And that affirmative prayer is coming from our emeritus spiritual practitioner, Maureen Thurston. And with that said, guys, today we're talking about meeting the observer within. So with that being said, notice and remember, it's an eternal conversation. And the reason why I'm telling you it's eternal all the time is because it's been going on throughout the ages. So with that being said, first on our platform, know that our beautiful and Emeritus spiritual practitioner has you in mind. So listen to her prayer and start thinking about meeting the deserver within for yourself. Mo, make it do what it do.
Hey, thank you. So, as we take a moment to just gently turn within and just check in with ourselves, to connect to that place within each and every one of us where we know the truth of who we are, where we know the truth of what is ours to do. And I know that as we turn within and we look at ourselves, we see the divine nature of spirit in our thoughts, in our words, and in our actions. For we display this constantly as we go through our day. And I know that as we start this day off with this wonderful service and Reverend Rosedale, I know that each one of us gets from her message what is ours to hear. And I know that it will carry us forward into the week with ease, with grace, and with power to keep us aware and strong as to who we are and what is ours to do. So as I release this prayer, I know that each and every one of us are blessed beyond any type of measure. I know that our lives are filled with love and appreciation for everyone here. I release, I let go, I let God, and I know that it is done. And together we can lock it in for ourselves by just confirming and saying, and so it is.
And so it is. And so it
And
is.
so it
So with that being said, thank you, Mo, so much. You used words that I have been saying all week. Aware. Thank you so much, Mo. So next on our platform is our reader, Jariba Trailer, aka JT. Now, as a yoga practitioner, she's been meeting the observer within quite a bit and for quite some time. So listen to JT's reading today because you're going to gain some clarity about meeting the observer within for yourself. And after JT's reading, listen to Open My Heart by Yolanda Adams. And you may be able to notice that there is an observer talking through that song while you listen and observe her sing it. So with that being said, prepare yourself to know more about meeting the observer within. With that said, JT, make it do what it do.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Today's reading is an excerpt from The Observer, or excuse me, The Missing Element, Inspiring Compassion for Human Condition by Deborah Silverman. The Observer, the witness, our soul, our higher self, helps us to see things objectively as they really are. It's a stance of both wisdom and compassion. It allows us to step off the worrisome ego stage of our lives and look back and review things from afar. From this more distant viewpoint, our dramas and stories are less compelling and distracting, and even endearing and sweet. Ah, look what that silly ego is doing again, says the observer. How sweet. The observer is one of the missing elements, the part of yourself that enables you to understand your quirky personality beyond judgment, as though you were an angel looking back at your human nature. Your observer, the witness, the wise, quiet, soulful voice, has the ability to teach, tame, and support your ruthless ego. When invited in, it says, hey, you're doing that thing again. You're lost in the drama. It's okay. Slow down. Take a breath. You're doing the best you can. Can you feel the compassion here? No judgment, just gentle noticing. The observer cultivates humility and a soft approach to life. It helps you become good at saying things that your ego will cringe at, such as, I am sorry, I need help, I made a mistake and I was wrong. The observer allows us to come out from behind the mask of the protective ego and become transparent and real. All healers are good teachers, spend lots of time in the land of the observer. Imagine a huge horseshoe-shaped glass-bottom observation deck anchored in a limestone cliff at the Grand Canyon, 4,000 feet above the chasm below. Look up. The turquoise sky appears endless, and you can literally see for miles in all directions. Look down, and the Colorado River appears as a slim, pea green ribbon, and the barrel riding tourists below look like small fleas. It's a wonderful view because with so much perspective, you can't focus on the little things. All you see is the majesty of the view, held underneath a magnificent sky. This is the observation deck where the observer lies. And so it is.
Yes, good. Now we are going to take a quick 2 to 3 minutes short centering by relaxing your eyes, possibly closing them, maybe putting your eyes down into your lap, but deeply take that breath in. And let me ask you, have you ever stopped to ask yourself, who is my mind actually speaking to? Some people perceive it as this anthropomorphic God. They envision this as a human-like form. Others experience it as an energy, God, spirit, or however they understand it. It's both. It's the observer and the thing we think is observing us. We are one with it. So when Yolanda sang that song, so I need to talk to you and ask for your guidance, especially today when life seems so cloudy. Guide me until I'm sure. That's the observer. But it's the same divine energy that's looking back at her. So you, don't shorten your mind and think to yourself, well, they're talking about something out there. No. The observer, you're the only you that there are when you're talking to you. Who is my mind talking to? Ooh, this is getting real juicy. So the song tells me a lot about eternal conversations and meeting the observer within. So as we celebrate Women's History Month, we'll speak of it in terms of love, but make sure it's no doubt that you're talking about self-love in many cases. So deepen your practice and let the truth of you be, because when you are meeting with the observer within, you are open and you got your heart wide open like Yolanda Adams sings. So are you ready to accept the ability to have that eternal conversation, meeting the observer within? Because me personally, I usually know when it's time for me to start meeting the observer within based on what's happening around me. What about you? So we got to know that we are all at choice here. You don't have to do any of this. You don't have to practice. You don't have to know anything more about yourself. Just live every day. But you know what? You can also practice these spiritual practices that you learn. And as you continue to learn them, they lead you to open up, to start meeting with the observer within for yourself. So wiggle your fingers and your toes and integrate your mind, body, and spirit. And as you float your eyes open again, allow something in your space to bring you back to the present moment. And then I want you to do this. Imagine this. One moment, you're driving along. You're completely caught up in your thoughts. You're lost in the voice inside your mind, and it's planning, it's worrying, it's analyzing, it's doing all of these things. But then something shifts. And then you take a step back and you observe your thoughts. Then you begin to say, what is going on? I'm totally consumed. Well, what can we do instead of consuming ourselves with our thoughts? Stop, listen. Then you get to discover what's happening. Because what's really happening, let me tell you, so you'll know that the rest of your life, we are having this ongoing eternal conversation. It's meeting the observer within. But you know what? How often do you think we do that? 24/7. The thoughts keep coming. But you notice space one day. When you start to do your little spiritual practice, that space will come one day. But you just got to look. And then all of a sudden, you start to become aware. Did you hear Mo's prayer? We are aware. There's an awareness that's separate from all of that mental noise. Oh, yes. As soon as you do that, now you're meeting with the observer. You're getting it now a little bit? Well, now check this out. That might sound very, very simple, but you know what it's really all about and what's so profound about all of this? Let me just be clear. That's how meeting the observer becomes your eternal conversation. Because even we think when we move on and transition that it stops talking. No. It goes with us. It's always there. See, for centuries, spiritual traditions have spoken of silent witness so many times. I heard it a lot, but I get it now because my practice is ramped up now. Every single year, it's rampant. I'm changing. I'm evolving. But one of the things about that silent witness is it's in each and every one of us. See, it's the observer, and it remains unchanged, even as the mind races in all these different directions. But see, the thing is this. What if all of this stuff you keep hearing because you want to believe it, but you're not trying it? But I suggest you try it. Matter of fact, I highly recommend you try it. But what if it's not just philosophy? What if it's really the beginning and of science? Because let me tell you something. Science right now is observing and confirming all of these things that have been said ever since many centuries ago. And I could take it down to the first or second century from what the research I've been doing about it. But you know what? Quantum physics, for example, is still a science, right? Quantum physics says that the observer is simple, just particles somewhere. They're in a state of lurch. They're just sitting there, but they're in a state of potential. They're just sitting there. Just imagine that until we look at it, that's when it becomes something. Because why? It's just our perception. You get that? It's our perception. See, reality, it's yours and only yours. It can't be mine. Reality at the most fundamental level is not fixed. You think because I see that red car that it's all I'm going to have. You think because I have this income, it's all I'm going to have. You think because I'm in this, well, I should say, toxic relationships, not everybody is, that is fixed. No, reality at the fundamental level isn't fixed. Guess what it is? It's very changeable. I started to use the word variable, but I'm going to be real simple. It's changeable. And you know what? It shifts. Listen to me. It shifts in response to the way I perceive. And should say to the way I observe. See now, I'll give you a quantum physics lab experiment. Dark room. There's a dark room, but there's a motion-centered light. And so this motion-centered light inside that dark room, you don't know what's in there yet. So all you know is that the room is dark, but it's full of a lot of potential. Why is that? Because once you turn that doorknob and walk in that door, the light turns on. Now, whatever you observe is what it's all about. But it's only for you. Because I can go in that same dark room, and as soon as the light turns on, it's whatever it is. You don't have to know what's inside the dark room, but the moment you step in and look, the light turns on. And I like to say when somebody is making no sense to me, I go, lights on, nobody's home. And that makes me laugh because I'm saying in my mind, this person is really out to lunch. But I don't, especially when they're like kind of annoying. I'm just saying. You have to laugh at life. Life cannot be so. So, what do you think could happen in that space? Because whatever it is you think that you're observing, that is what yours is. So that is what yours is. So quantum physics says that's the way reality truly works. Now, the most important thing, what exists in that space or that state of possibility is never known until it's observed. I don't know, I'm not going to explain that anymore. So in the dark room becomes something specific only when it's observed. So if our consciousness, check it out, if our consciousness can influence reality, then what does that say about who we are? See, we assume that we are this voice in our head. It's not our head, it's in our body. It's everywhere within us. This body is just a shell, but there's a lot going on that can't even fit in here. Oh my God! Oh my God! I've watched those awesome documentaries on the mind, the body, the way they put the probes into your head so they can see movement. So if you step back and watch your thoughts, that doesn't mean that you are something outrageous. What it means is that you are something deeper because thoughts float away. Does that mean that we are beyond our thoughts? Good thought. I believe it. So throughout history, because of that, it's very simple. And I'm telling you, women's intuition means a lot. And I truly believe it. And I know, I'm not saying that men are not bright, not at all. But I'm just saying we are more in tune. So throughout history, women have been the keepers of wisdom, the nurturers of transformation. I have to say that about us and tap us on the back because we all that. See, women have been the silent observers of all the things that's going on in society and so what it means is that they have been watching, have been watching the world as it evolves. And my world has evolved and continues to evolve, but at least I know I'm noticing that. But if more people were to notice that, guess what? We would see change in such larger numbers. I would love that. But let's go back to the women. Women have carried an inner dialogue. That's why it's so sad that the woman is not a president yet, because it would really change the world. I know it would, but that's just my stance. Get off my soapbox. Women have really carried that inner dialogue, and we carry it very well. When you get real serious about yourself as a woman, as anything, you begin to carry that resilience, that power that you have within you. It's that spiritual connection. And when you start to get that, there is nothing that can be done. But the thing is this, women have carried it long before they were recognized. They're always making women a second-class citizen. Think about these beautiful leaders and fabulous leaders like Harriet Tubman, like Sojourner Truth, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. These three women, Harriet Tubman was around 1822 to 1913, and what she was this courageous woman that has helped people to escape from slavery from one end of the country to the other. But let me just ask you this. Do you think she was connected? Think again if you don't think so. Sojourner Truth, 1797, earlier than Harriet Tubman. 1797 to 1883, she was a powerful abolitionist and women's activist. During those times, you don't think she had the balls to get out there and do what she did? What was she doing? She was listening. She was born in slavery, guys, you know that. But she gained her freedom and she became known for all of those fabulous speeches that she liked to give. And one of them was, Ain't I a Woman? You got to read that. You don't even have to read the whole thing. This is Sojourner Truth. But you know what she did with that reading? She challenged racial ethnicity and she challenged gender inequality just by talking the way she did. So do you think they could have been pissed with her? Sure. But do you think she was that concerned with it? Probably not. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she's in our century. She was a trailblazer in the Supreme Court. You just got to look these people up, and these are powerful women. So I'm a powerful woman. I choose to be. Why don't you be? Women, hey ladies out there in YouTube land, let me tell you something. This lady that ran the system for justice, she had a real quiver to deal with gender equality, civil rights, and social justice. She made a big stink, but she died in 2022. So she's the latest one of the latest. There's just countless women just stepping up. So each of these women, they have embodied courage, wisdom, determination. Are you ready to do that? Male, female, are you ready? Because you know what? These ladies, whether we know it or not, they left a lasting imprint on the fight for justice and equality. And guess what? It's still going on. They're never going to stop. Just listen deeply to that wonderful voice, that eternal conversation that flows through you. Help people if you don't think you need help, especially getting out of their things if they're easy to let you help them. Some people don't want your help and you got to back. So like we explore the observer within, women have done it forever. So now you see, that's the deal about the women. So I just wanted to tell you that. Because it's the same power that has helped everything from the first day that a man or a woman came on this planet. And I'm talking way back there. That power has always graced us. It has the strength, it has it all. But either you're going to take the strength and use it for your strength or feel weak and use it for your weakness. But you're going to use it because you're always meeting the observer within one way or the other. So David Hume, he was this guy in the 18th century, Hume. I love the man because I really did some studies about him. What he discovered was that the self that we all understand, that we keep thinking, no, this is how I am. This is my true self. Stop it. Because what he determined and what he discovered in his studies back in the 18th century now is that it's not the self that we actually thought it was. He found that human consciousness is just basically a bunch, like I keep using that word, perceptions. That's what it is. See, neuroscientists right now are really echoing what he said. I mean, they're just finding out all that stuff that's been out through the ages. But it's just that a lot of people are not tuning into that stuff. I'm tuning in. I'm listening to the science of what's going on because we are walking around as science. We are science. We're the truth. This physical stuff right here is really the illusion. Why? Let me tell you why. Because instead of our identity that we give ourselves, what really is, according to neuroscientists, according to what they do with those probes they put in your head and everything, they find signals firing, right, all throughout the body. They find memories forming. They find emotions as they rise and as they fade. I'm telling you, beautiful. And then after all of that, it's like people don't even understand that they're shifting their emotions. They're also letting the thoughts move from one place to another. They're also worrying about all of these things, but all inside of all of that, guess what still remains? It's that pure awareness. That's the thing that we got to stop and listen for. Like the reading. I love the reading that JT had, The Observer, the missing element. She read this wisdom and it was so powerful. I loved it. It's the observer is one of the missing elements. It's the part of us, of the part of yourself that enables you to understand your quirky personality beyond judgment. Understand it. Don't be judging it. Can you answer this question? Are you the universe experiencing itself? Are you the universe experiencing itself? Huh. I know I am. What about you? The observer and the observed are not two separate entities. They are one and the same. They are a unified whole. So we like to say, oh, spirit guides me. No, 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 no. We are spirit. We guide us. If you choose to have the eternal conversations and begin to continue to meet with that observer within. See, how many times can we actually bring awareness to ourselves? Oh, no, I should say how many ways can we really bring awareness to ourselves? And I could say, I can give you the answer. One of them is, of these so many ways, is music lyrics. What does music do for us? Actually, music sets tones. It also sets the moods. It also gives us the memories. And what do? They set our perception about this now reality as we listen to this song, as we listen to these affirmations. It's a whole new way of being. So we hear the words, but when they come into our minds, the whole thing's change. Your mood changes, your memories change. Okay, even your tone either softens or heightens. Just depends on how much you love this. Because things heighten for me a lot if I'm loving it. If I'm loving the words, if I'm loving the lyrics, if I'm loving what I'm hearing, things heighten. And then all of a sudden they play that music behind it. Boom. The music, we have 7 notes from the crown to the root chakra. And each one of those is on the key of the piano. Did you know that? Well, it's true. So that's why you feel the music. So let me just tell you. So this eternal conversation that we're about to hear in this next song, Meeting the Observer Within, it's going to give us affirmations and a whole lot of power. I'm serious. Watch when you're done. You're going to feel the power because we're going to get to enjoy the eternal conversations that this woman sing while we're meeting the observer. And then all we're going to do is listen to the song, I Believe I Can Fly. And that is Yolanda Adams. And now you are going to start meeting with the observer within. Come on now. Come on. Come on, y'all. Y'all heard that. She said, if I can see it and I believe it, you know I'm going to fly. Guess what? That was powerful. Now tell me it wasn't. And I would not believe you. If you think that you can think about it night and day, and then all you have to do is spread your wings, and metaphorically, you are truly ready to start meeting with that fabulous observer within. Because that's all she's doing is affirming. If you can affirm you can fly and I can fly, the first thing I'm going to do is get my wings and fly away. Now, are you ready to start that eternal conversation meeting with the observer within? Because if you're not, oh, you better be. All righty now. All righty then. So, wow, that was a lot to take in. So now I think it's time for me to give out some big shout outs to our team. Our team this morning were just fantastic. Every time somebody strikes the ball, another one picks it up. It's just fantastic. Alan, my right-hand man here, he did great with that MC. And Mo, she was the great prayer, powerful opening. It just entwined with what I was about to say. She just took the words out of my mouth. And then we have JT reading and being of service with us all the time. I really appreciate her for all of the work she does. And then we have people in the background who cannot really be seen, but it's Melissa. She keeps the gates. She makes sure that everybody gets in here really well. And thank you, Timmy P, for the fearlessness that you display out there doing our music and making sure it's right on time and doing all that great stuff and bringing us to a safe landing. And more thanks to you, Mo, for waiting for people to send in their prayer. If you have not received a prayer request, a prayer from us in your box, you have not submitted a prayer request. So it's very good to do that. So remember to do all of those things with us, and we are right here for you. So before we close out, remember today was all about the eternal conversation, meeting the observer within. So that said, meeting the observer within could mean you can meet the observer looking at the mirror. Come on. You gotta look at a mirror at least once a day. I hope you do, because you don't know how dirty your face could be with the crusty little things out your eyes and all that. I can't believe I said that. But come on, you got to look in that mirror. So it's time for a change. So what we're talking about this butterfly, again, transformation, change. The person in the mirror that you see is part of your eternal conversation. Okay? And now you're meeting with the observer then, especially first thing in the morning. But anyway, long story short, guys, listen to this last song. It's all about talking to the person in the mirror, not necessarily the man, because sometimes I talk to the woman in the mirror. So but you're going to hear the song titled The Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. Ah, yes. Yes, man. I like the end of it though. Wait, they make it real? Come on. Change. Okay. You got to live with yourself. You know it. Yeah. I love those affirmations. It's me I got to start with. And when I look at me, that's when things get better. That's when I get that meeting, you understand, with the observer within. See, I'm really digging that. So now, before we close out, I am going to have Mo pray us out because that was such a fabulous service.
Another great service, Reverend Rosedale. Thank you for all of your insights and sharing your wisdom with us. So as we close out this time together here this morning, I know that each one of us takes with us into this week and into this day the message that has been one of love, understanding, and contributions. And as we go out, I know that we touch lives with who we are and how we show up. I know it is always done with ease and with grace, and we fill our lives with joy, with love, and with laughter. So as I release and I let go, I let God, and I am so grateful for this time that we have spent together here today. And I love every one of you. And so it is.
Hmm. And so it is. Wow. Thank you so much, Mo. I love you more. So, with that being said, as we wrap up today, we are just spent a wonderful piece of time together with ourselves, and we were thinking and talking and just taking into the mind about meeting with the observer within. For Women's History Month, would you do one thing? Are you ready to know that you're ready to meet with your observer and the one within, and this time also the one surrounding you, your personal? So for Women's History Month, remember the women of the past, but also recognize the divine power that's within each and every one of these women you know today as it unfolds out of us now. So what I do know is that same spirit that carried all these generations is that same spirit that's in this meeting right now, in this service. So with that being said, as we close out, remember, the universe always has your support at heart. You are the heart of the universe because you and the universe are the ones having the eternal conversations constantly. So until we meet again, reflect on how grateful you are to open up and begin to meet with the observer within. And so it is.